Once upon a time, in a small, cozy village, there lived a fluffy white cat named Fluffy. She had the softest fur and the most curious eyes, always watching the birds flying above her head. Every day, Fluffy would sit in the garden, gazing at the sky, completely fascinated by the birds soaring through the clouds. "I want to fly too," she declared one morning as she watched a flock of sparrows dart and dip through the air. Fluffy was determined to take to the skies. So she came up with a plan. First, she decided to try balloons. Fluffy found some balloons left over from a birthday party and tied them all to her tail. Slowly but surely, the balloons lifted her feet off the ground. "It's working!" Fluffy shouted excitedly. But soon the balloons started drifting up too high. A gust of wind blew her straight into a tree, and the balloons popped one by one. Fluffy tumbled down into a bush with a thud. "Well, that didn't work," she sighed, picking leaves out of her fur. Next, Fluffy tried using an umbrella. She had seen humans use umbrellas to keep dry from the rain, and in her mind, it seemed like a perfect flying device. She climbed up to the highest point in the house, the top of the couch. Holding the umbrella in her paws, she leapt off, imagining herself gliding like a bird. But instead, she went whoosh right into a pile of cushions. Not quite like the birds," Fluffy mumbled, her whiskers twitching. Still not ready to give up, Fluffy decided to ask the birds for advice. She waddled up to a friendly robin perched on a branch. "Excuse me, Mr. Robin," Fluffy meowed politely. "Can you teach me how to fly?" The robin chirped with a laugh. "Oh, Fluffy, flying is something birds are born to do. You're a cat. You have your own special talents." "But I want to fly like you," Fluffy insisted. The robin fluttered down to sit beside Fluffy. "You may not be able to fly, but you can do so many amazing things that we birds can't. You can climb trees with your sharp claws, jump high with your powerful legs, and purr so beautifully when you're happy. You should be proud of who you are." Fluffy thought about this for a moment. She had never considered all the things she could do as a cat. Her claws, her jumping skills, even her purring, those were all things that made her special. She looked up at the birds flying above but felt a new sense of pride in herself. Later that evening, Fluffy sat under the tree again, watching the birds fly by. But this time she wasn't sad. "I don't need to fly," she purred. "I have my own ways to explore the world." Fluffy dashed off to climb the tree with agility only a cat could have. She reached the top in no time and smiled to herself as she gazed over the village from her high perch. She realized that being herself was just as wonderful as flying, if not more. And from that day on, Fluffy stopped trying to be like the birds and embraced all the things that made her a fantastic cat.